welcome. So today we're gonna start off with HTML, which is referred to as hypertext markup language. So we're gonna focus mainly on structuring and also tags, structuring HTML and also tags, right? So these are two things we're gonna focus on. But before we get started, um, I am basically using a Windows machine, and we for this tutorial we're just gonna I'm gonna use Notepad in order to illustrate and to show you how easily you can write HTML documents, right? So you just should search for Notepad in your computer, and that should pop up, and then open it. Right, once you have your notepad ready, and just like that, then we can start. So foremost, I don't think this tutorial needs an introduction, but yeah, HTML is a markup language, and it is mainly used to display documents on our browser. So you go to, for example, you have Google, and you can see, let's see, if you go to Google, you can see a lot of things there. For example, if you want to search for something like phone, right, so you can see a lot of things. These are all ways we can display pictures, videos on the internet. So HTML allow us to do that easily. Right, so I think that's an introduction. So then now let's see what we can do from here. So foremost, we need to start by what are tags. So what are tags, right? What are tags? Tags. Tags. What are tags? So tags are like, so for example, we have something fast as P, and then you have Jen is a boy. This is something common, right? And so this is referred to as a tag. So P for paragraph, right? So P is basically for paragraph, right? So we have P is a paragraph. So paragraph for P, and within this tag, tag is just mainly initial letter for word within braces, right? So for example, P stands for paragraph. So like we have all documents. Let's go back to this example. We have different documents. We can see this document display here. We can tell this document is a paragraph, right? This is bold and strong compared to this, so this is a paragraph. So essentially that's what P stands for. It's a paragraph, and it represents this thing here. So now if we want to see how this works, to see how we can display this paragraph to our website, let's just save this. So I'm gonna to save this now to display it. Let me just do here. First you wanna put it into a folder. Let's call this practice 1.html. You want to end up with an extension HTML, because there's sorry. So this is just a folder itself, practice 1, and then we have the folder within the folder now. So within the folder now we can save here, practice here. So here we can save from .txt to practice .html. So now once we save this, it is saved. Once you save this, we can display this on a browser. So how we can do this, we basically have to first go back to documents, and we already have practice here. So once we do that, we can display this to a browser, right? John is a boy, so this is display here. So this is what paragraph does. Display, it's just like a paragraph in any document, right? Simple and straightforward. So but we have lots of tags. Like we have another important tag refers to H1 tag, which stands for header 1 header. So header 1 essentially is just a way of representing our text to be bold and bigger, right? So H1 will be let's write something here. This is a header, right? Header tag. So if we close this now, and then we save this as well and try to save how this looks like, you will see something like let's see, you see let's try to open this again. What did we open this ones? Okay, let's come back to a browser and try to open this somewhere. So this is header tag, right? See, it's very bold and much bigger compared to a paragraph, right? So we have different types of header, like from 1 to 6. So 6 is like the least. So if we have, for example, another one called H2 is another tag, another header tag. So we can say this is another header, right? Another header tag. So you can as well close this, right? Sorry, I skip writing this thing. So this is header tag 2, right? If we save this and reload this page, we already have it here, so we can just reload. You see that we have another header tag which is less bigger compared to the first header, right? So this is how we display header. And we have a lot of other things, fun things to play with. But first, let's start off with the first thing first you want to start off with when starting on writing HTML documents is something refers to as doc type. So basically what that means is that doc type HTML. Sorry, it's again HTML. Right, so essentially what this helps us to do is that it shows the browsers that we are using what version of HTML, and by so doing the browser will be able to prove to display whatever we want it to display. So there are times when you're using old version of HTML and the browser might not display some elements in your documents, yeah, HTML file. So that's why it's there for. So that's what you should first think about always when starting off. And then we also have basic HTML tag, which is just HTML, right? So this is another one. Always start off with this HTML. I will explain to you what this does. So what this helps us with is that what this helps us is that within this HTML document, it allows us to display anything within here. So here we can display like anything here. So HTML is like the whole thing, like having, you know, our web file or our, you know, document within, you know, a given file, so it can be displayed on our browsers within, you know, in a way that is essentially inside this HTML document. So here we can then put any other thing else, but the other thing also you should think about when starting off is our header, right, which is also another essential elements. So tags can be referred to as elements as well. What are elements? Elements are just you know, tags that are open and closed. So remember, anytime you start off with an open, so basically this is a tag, this is a tag, and this is a tag, but an element is basically a braces with open and then close, and then, you know, this sort of a thing. It refers to as an element, right? So within an element you can, so two things that are very important in building a website: first the header tag and then the body. So let's see what that means. So we have here here, if for example, if you search I don't know what to type, so let's say font. I think it's just something simple. So here, for example, if we start off, like if we search this for, right, what we see here is referred to as the header. It's a header tag, right? This refers to as header. Everything here is under the header tag, sorry, within the header tag, sorry. So we have a title here. So this is within the header tag. So this is what we wanted to do. So now within this header tag you can post the same thing like a title, right? So we can call this the title because it's the title. When you display your content, it will show. So let's say my first website, right? So and then we close, right? Don't forget title. So within this we have like my first website, right? So if we save this and take a look again, see that we then have now hit here my first website. So this we have now a title. This is a logo here, we'll talk about that later. First, this is like a title, and we have our title now on the inside within our header, my first website. So it's very essential that you know this as well. And then after which we have our body, right, which is also something cool. What I will normally use is just tab, no sorry, so because it's there, so we can use, because it's this, we can basically use let's see, what I'm doing basically is I'm trying to organize my document so that it will be in line with everything, you know, what we're doing. So now let's go to body tag. So body, well within, okay, we also have another tag referred to as body tag. So what this helps us to do is it allows us to display anything within our, so anything that is within this body we can display in our website like this, you know, like we can display it here. So for the header we display it here, all in the header, like the title like you see here, but in our body we display the document itself, that is paragraph header h1 to h6, just like we discussed, and some other important ones. So here we can just say let's just write the body in close, right? Okay. So here we have a body tag which is also close. Remember that body tag is also very important because it's essential, right? Body tag is very essential because it allows to display anything, writing, everything. Like for example, if we start off with just like the things we discussed about, always organize your text. It's very important. Know all about programming. It's very important, right? So let's say h1. So h1, with the h1 which is for header 1, we can write something like this is header tag, h1 tag, right? Full stop. So this is an h1 tag, and then we can close this, right? h1, right? So this will display the highest tag, just like we talked about here. And let's just save this and see what we have here. Right, so this will display the h1 tag, just like we see here. So within the body we can put anything that we talked about, like the h1 tag, right? And we can put we can do another thing, awesome thing as well. So let's start off with also paragraph, P for paragraph, right? This is a paragraph. So this is a paragraph. Our paragraph, right? It's also last. Put this as a paragraph, and then we can close this as well. Always make your work nice and clean. So this is a paragraph. So if we save this as well, we'll see that we have a paragraph display as well. Right. So we have a paragraph here. Okay. So there are a lot of fun things that you can do as well, apart from h1 tag. But yes, let's just start off with these things, and then what else can we do? Apart from this, right? So we can also display. Let's say we wanted to write a lot of paragraph here. Let's say we wanted to write this a paragraph and another paragraph, like. We don't want to write another paragraph, but we want to basically write within this paragraph two things, but we don't want to separate them. So we can introduce something referred to as, line break, and line breaks help us to essentially put the thing without having gap. Okay, let me show you something. So if we have paragraph, if we have this, right, this is a paragraph again. Just wanted to show you something. So if we save this and refresh our page here, so we have this old gap here. We don't want that. Sometimes we just want, like for example, you're writing a lyrics, right? But you want it to be tight and closer. You don't want this gap. So but you want it to be down here. You can introduce bra, right? So let's say we have this here. We want to do the same thing. We don't want to really we want to remove the gap, the big gap, but we want it to be here. So we have within here, we can say this is a paragraph, and we can paste this again. So what we can do, basically we can introduce what refers to as bar, line break. So what this helps us to is this. But sometimes you can write it like that is good, but mostly it is advisable to close it. A line break that basically doesn't have like a closing tag. but it's an empty tag, but you can write it like this. It's okay, and you can write it like this, but I prefer this way. That's right. So here we can see what we have here again. So let's refresh. So you see now they're very close and tight and clear. You know, it's this is how you do it. So line break help us with that. Right, this is essentially some things that you would get to do as your journey through your coding journey. So what else do we want to talk about? Let's say also you can also display, you can also emphasize certain element also. So we have another tag refers to as em for emphasize, to give emphasis to this text. So let's see how that looks. So if you close this em, right, and then save this, what that does is that it's the emphasis to this text. You see how emphasized this text is. So this is what it does. We have other one refers to as tag. No, sorry, refers to as strong. It helps us to make would give importance to a specific tag or specific a specific word or letter, you know. So we have strong. Let's see how that will display. So if you save this now, see again, you will have something like, sorry, I think I didn't save this. Let's see, I made a mistake here. Yes, I made a mistake here. So we can display this out here. Then let's save this. Let's save this. It shouldn't be here. So we can have this here. We can have this here. Let's say we want to make this strong, so we can say strong, right? And then we can pick back here, we can close it here, strong. So give importance to the text. So we can do it with a tag, or we can do it definitely with middle here. Yeah, but I know we can do it with paragraph tag. So you see we have now it's important, like give importance to this paragraph here. Yeah, so what else can we do? And we also can do HR, which is a line tag, right? Let's say you have this HR. Sorry. So what is HR? It's an horizontal line. So it's horizontal line is also an empty tag. It doesn't need any whatever. So if you have HR here, you have horizontal line. Right. So what it does. So these are different things that you can play around with, and it will help you to build upon, you know.